Hello, I'm going to try and get this to work one more time here. Anyway, I chose the parish ministry setting. I'm currently serving at a United Methodist Church in rural South Dakota. I'm serving as a part-time licensed local pastor, so I thought that that would be the appropriate one to choose, and I'll be continuing to work in this setting. I chose the book study case study, the second one. I do a number of book studies in the community currently, and I often am doing them with people that may or may not be members of the congregation. In that setting, I'm often confronted with people with varying ideas, and sometimes they may or may not really represent what I would like to have represented or be put out there by our congregation. Anyway, looking at how I would approach that with the particular lay leader, I would want to reach out to that lay leader after I had had time to review the book that he or she would be wanting to be presenting, and take a look at it and be able to be conversant with it, so that I could get together with them and perhaps not something that would be more of a casual get together, have a cup of coffee with them and sit down and discuss what it is that appealed to the book for that person and what had been helpful. And then through that discussion, I'd like to engage with them a little bit about maybe some different perspectives that might meet with more of a Methodist approach. Maybe dig into some scripture and see how that would come into play, or maybe look at ways that it addressed a particular scripture and maybe alternative ways of looking at the scripture. I'd also want to talk with him about some other books that I may have considered helpful, that from my perspective might work more in our setting, but not to discourage him, and sit down with them and talk about the differences and what would be appealing of each one, and then try to see if there wouldn't be an opportunity to look at doing a joint approach of sitting down and the two of us putting on a discussion or a book study where we would have particular topics in mind, and then put the two different backgrounds into conversation. The book that this person had selected, and then put that into conversation with a book that maybe I'd feel more comfortable with, and then allow for a lot of audience or group participation, so that other people could participate in the dialogue, and hopefully that we could then, it would open it up so that I could respond to any of the materials that I would have a problem with, and be able to address them in a way that was respectful to the lay leader, in a way that I could meet this person where they were at, and help them to feel comfortable about maybe looking at things from a different theological perspective than my understanding from book studies that I've done in the past. But if I meet people where they're at and do it respectfully, that I can often have them take a look at maybe a piece of scripture or maybe a theological concept or doctrine in a different light, and they're open to hear things differently if people are treating them with respect and they don't feel defensive. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about this.